Grass are plants. Trees are plants. Bushes are plants. Rocks are not plants. This is madness! Lots of things are plants, and all of them are made of cells. Today, Chris Matthews will explain how we can relate cells to real life. And now, Chris Matthews.
Hello, I'm Chris Matthews. And today, we'll be exploring the wonderful topic of cells. Hello, today we will be comparing how making a movie is like a cell structure. For instance, the cell membrane is like a crew. It supports and holds everything together, like our crew over there.
Whoops, wrong footage.
In many ways, chloroplasts are similar to the camera lens. They take in resources and turn it into something better. Food. Or a nice Polaroid picture. In many ways, the director is like the nucleus. They both control what goes on in the cell or movie. In many ways, the director's brain is like the nucleolus. They both exert electrical pulses controlling what the figure or structure does. Ribosomes in a cell are like the batteries of a camera. They both distribute energy to the entire cell. Ribosomes produce proteins, and batteries produce electricity. The tripod is similar to the cell wall of the plant cell. They both provide structure, shape, and support for the cell or camera. That camera isn't moving. The flagella of the cell are much like the feet of a tractor. They provide mobility and movement for the video or cell. Look at those feet move, just like flagella. And that's how the parts of a cell relate to the parts of making a video. And now we bring you to Scott's Corner with Scott. Welcome to Scott's Corner with Scott Logan. Now here's Scott Logan with Scott's Corner.
Hello, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Scott's Corner. I'm Scott Logan. On tonight's show, we're going to be telling you how you can compare parts of a cell to parts of the filmmaking process. This soda gives me energy, just like our next subject gives energy to the cell. The mitochondria provides energy and power for the cell, just like this electrical outlet provides power and energy for the camera once it's plugged in, which is required for the life of the camera and cell.
Welcome back to Scott's Corner with Scott Logan. Now here's Scott Logan with the Scott Logan News featuring Scott Logan. We're over here, Scott.
I still don't know where that voice comes from. This Mountain Dew Code Red helps me get energy, but energy has absolutely nothing to do with our next organelle. It's the endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum acts as a pathway for nutrients and other parts of the cell, much like firewire. Part of the firewire connects into the camera, the other part into the computer, thus transferring the content of the video to the computer for further editing. Our next organelle is one that many people have in their households today. A DVD. The DVD packages the final product together, much like a Golgi body packages things in the cell.
And we're live again with Scott's Corner with Scott Logan, and here's the Scott Logan News with Scott Logan over here.
Okay. Next is chromatin. Chromatin is the active form of DNA, which we relate to tape on a video. This is tape on a video. They're similar because they hold the memory content for each. Oh, hi. I was working on my next movie. Anyway, back to the cell. The cytoplasm is much like my laptop here, because it holds and completes the cell and keeps it together. And also, located right here in the cytoplasm, is the quote-unquote vacuole, also known as the delete button, which gets rid of unwanted content, much like a vacuole gets rid of unwanted material within a cell. But another good purpose for a laptop is rocking out. Next are cilia. Cilia are small hairs located on the cell, which sense things, much like this microphone senses sound. That's how sound is transported to a film, much like senses get transported to the cell from the cilia. But note, cilia are rare in plants, but they do exist. Last is the nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane is a layer around the nucleus which protects it, much like my skin. As you saw before, I'm the director of this film, and my skin helps protect me from UV rays.
We welcome you back to Scott's Corner with Scott Logan. And here's Scott Logan with the Scott Corner of Scott's News with Scott.
That about concludes our episode of Scott's Corner tonight. We're glad you joined us, but there's also other things we'd like to tell you about first. Countless hours go into editing it. I mean, if it weren't for editing, I could just go around saying things like, in your mother's head. But since we do have editing, I can't say things like that. Also, we'd like to thank this house for having us. I know, that sounds pretty... But, you know, that's how life is sometimes. I'm Scott Logan. Thank you for watching Scott's Corner, and we'll see you next time.